Hey everybody, so I'm just uploading a better version of my aquascaping presentation from my aquascaping workshop up on YouTube because the original live stream is kind of laggy and I just want a better version up on YouTube. And this video was shot by Lisa from Lil Mama Llama, so thank you so much Lisa for filming my presentation. It looks really good. I watched it already and it's way better than the live stream, so yeah, thank you so much Lisa. Go subscribe to her, Lisa at Lil Mama Llama, YouTube, Instagram. I really, I really appreciate that, Lisa. The next thing is I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for coming out today. And the people who did watch the live stream, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. And it was really nice meeting a lot of new people that I have not met before. And it was really, nice to talk to a lot of people afterwards. And I was happy to answer all of you guys' questions and all that. So yeah, so thank you for coming out. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, thank you to the Petite Hawaii for inviting me to do it. And it was a lot of fun. I'm really happy that I did it. And yeah, I hope you guys like the tank. If you guys want me to rescape it or maintain it, let me know and I'll be happy to do it. And also thank you to the people at Alternantheria Systems for sponsoring the workshop. I'm really grateful that you guys did that. It's really quite an honor. So yeah. Anyways, I don't want to talk for much longer. Here is my full aquascaping presentation plus the Q&A session afterwards. And yeah, so enjoy. Take the tank out of, the wrapping and all that. Alright, so let's just get started. My name is Carson. I have been in the fish hobby for, I'd say 9 years already. So I've been in it for a while. I hadn't, started aquascaping until maybe 4 years ago. So it's I'm still learning, by each tank I do. And I'm really grateful that the Petite Hawaii asked me to do this workshop. I can share my love of aquascaping and this side of the hobby to all of you guys, and teach you guys a few things about creating your own aquascape at home. So the tank that we're gonna do today is a low tech tank, right? It's a really easy tank. Not many things going into it. It's really easy, no CO2. So I really recommend low tech tanks for beginners, basically the first step. So before you start your tank, you have to think about a few things before you begin. You have to think about what kind of tank you're gonna do. There's different styles and different techniques to aquascaping and different styles of tanks. The first style is Iwagumi. Now, Iwagumi is a Japanese style of aquascaping. And it's really just a lot of rocks, right? So, and that's kind of the style we're going to be doing today. It's a lot of rocks. The plants are not going to be too tall. It's going to be very low. And really main focus of the tank is just the rocks. And and I really recommend Iwagumi styles for beginners because it's less plants and it's a little easier to maintain. If you become a little bit more advanced, I would recommend more of a nature aquarium style. Nature aquarium style is just dense with plants. There's a lot of plants all over the place, and it's just kind of like a forest in a way. And you're gonna have wood in there. You're not gonna see too much rocks, but a lot of wood as the hardscape, and it's gonna be really dense. Another style is called the Dutch aquascaping style, and the Dutch style is just basically really organized. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Each plant kind of has, or each type of plant has their own section in the tank, and it's really kind of like bordered off, so you can really tell distinctly, each plant's area. It looks really organized, and it looks nice. And there's really not going to be any hardscape in there, no wood, no rock. If there is, it's going to be covered by moss. So those are like the 3 main aquascaping styles that are the most popular in my opinion. But we're going to kind of do an iwagumi today, and yeah. So once you figured out, what style you're gonna be doing, you're gonna kind of have to figure out like what tank size you will be doing. And for an iwagumi, for iwagumis, they can be in like a small, like few gallon tank because less plants. Like you can make a little tank with some rocks and make it look nice. But for nature aquarium styles, I would recommend maybe a little bigger, maybe like 10 gallons to larger. But really, you can do anything. But the tank that we'll be scaping today is a UNS 45U. I have one of these at home. It's like 19 to 20 gallons. It's a really beautiful tank. And it's rimless. And you can see the glass is just beautiful. And if you want to do an aquascape, I would prefer to have a nicer tank rather than like just like a normal like regular 10-gallon tank. Because you want to be proud of your aquascape. You want to like be able to show people, look, this is what I created, this is what I've done. And what better way to do that with a nice tank like UNS. And UNS tanks are cheaper than other brands out there. For example, 88 tanks are a little bit more expensive. So this is like a cheaper alternative, and it still looks, it's still good quality. So it's not like you're getting anything less out of it. It's still a beautiful tank, and yeah, you can do so much with it. So yeah, 19 to 20 gallons, and we're gonna do an iwagumi tank. So before you squeeze your tanks, you need to get supplies, of course, and you want to get more supplies than you think you need. Like it may seem kind of like expensive, like buying so much stuff, but it's gonna come in handy because when I first started tanks or doing aquascapes, I like bought just like a little bit of like substrate, not that many plants. And I'm like, okay, there's so many empty gaps and so many empty areas, right? Like, I can't do much. So it's always good to buy, more than you think you need. And if you do end up having extra, substrate or plants or whatever, that's just another excuse for you to create another tank. So, I would recommend just getting more supplies than you need. And you can see, like, there's a lot of plants here that I picked out. The people Hawaii, provided a lot of great plants for me to use, so I'm really thankful to them. And UNS is sponsoring this event, Alternantheria system, so thank you to them as well for donating some things for afterwards. You saw the flyer. There's going to be a Q&A session after, so if you guys have any other questions, you guys feel free to answer. And there will be some giveaways, so you guys can go home with some cool prizes for UNS and stickers and other stuff. And there will also be some nano aquascaping tank kits available for purchase after the event. So if you buy the tank, you will get discount off of like other supplies for your aquascape, and you get $30 for plants. So the Petite will give you $30 to pick out the plants that you want for your aquascape, and for the tank, which is like, that's enough plants for it. So let's begin. Can you guys help me with the bags? First. So they're opening the substrate bags. I'm just gonna spray down the tank, just clean it a little bit, just because there's always like some dust and other stuff in here. Oh yeah, this is something else you can win in the giveaway, some UNS towels. Just rinse it down. Normally they're pretty clean. You always want to spray it down. So the substrate that we will be using is UNS conscious soil. And you can do many substrates for an aquascape. If you want to just have like in the front, just like a layer of sand, you can do that as well. But if you want to have like, depending on the plants, you may want to just have everything soil, just aqua soil, and that's what we will be doing, just having soil for everything in the tank. Now, I love UNS conscious soil, and they always have like a lot of it. I'm gonna be using some big bags. So UNS conscious soil comes in a few sizes. They come in the normal size, and this is what just for like your background, and you can do foreground too. You can use this size, or we have a fine size like this, and this is really good for carpet plants or smaller plants that have kind of like a hard time staying in the ground. This stuff is, since it's so small, it can like kind of like come together and pull down the roots, and this is really good for like smaller plants, and I love it. And you know, and the substrate is really good. Like no matter the size, it's really good. There's no rinsing before you put it in, so I can just dump it straight in the tank. Even in established tanks, you know, if I see like a bald spot where I want more substrate, I just dump substrate in, and you know, it doesn't cloud the water at all, which is really good. Some other substrates out there, you know, you're gonna have to rinse it out. There's gonna be some leftover gunk in the substrate, which is like not good, and you know, by rinsing it out, you can even damage the substrate. You know, like this substrate, like a lot of aquascapes are just these little balls. Hard to see, but these little like substrate balls, and you can really just smush them like that. So they're very fragile. So you kind of, but yeah, even with these, you still want to be gentle. But if you do rinse it out with other substrates, you can damage the substrate, and that's not good. So yeah, so these are the substrates we're going to be using for today. Now, for a tank like this, sometimes it's better to put the hardscape in first. Now, like maybe think, okay, I'll just add gravel first and then just add the rocks in, just put it wherever. You actually want to figure out where you want to put your hardscape first, because if you have your hardscape like a mountain, like which we're gonna do right now, the hardscape can be like a little like elevation for substrate in the back, and it's good for substrate in the back because you can put like plants like porweed, which we have here, and let it grow high. Just have, or rather grow it from like right here rather than having it like down here. You know, it's faster. You'll see, it'll make it look a lot more like fuller. So that's why I really recommend having the hardscape right here first. So the hardscape we're gonna be using is rag and stone. Now, I love this stuff because there's openings in the stone. So for plants like Anubias, you can just place it right in here and it will stay like this. So you know, something like this would work really well. And then Anubias, there's some plants out there that don't grow in the substrate. They actually grow on hardscape or rocks. So this is perfect for like these plants. So yeah, so let's just try this thing really quick. I know I don't have much time. Like usually when I aquascape, I have like all the time I need, so I take my time. But let's put this in here. Just put it in here. Now for building your hardscape, you always want to have like some base rocks to support the bigger rocks. Now with the base rocks, you can always cover those with substrate, or you can leave them open to make your like mountain look a little bigger. But you always want to have like supporting rocks, or else this thing's just gonna topple over. So sorry if I'm blocking the view for some people. A lot of times you won't get your hardscape right the first time. You know, for me, or with a lot of my tanks, you know, after like maybe like a few weeks of having the tank set up, I break it down and restart it. So a lot of times you won't have like everything right the first time. You may want to like make some changes, and that's totally normal. So if you feel that way, like after you escape your tank, I'm not really feeling this. It's perfectly fine to break it down and start it up again. And also the substrate does also act as kind of like a support, act as support for the rocks. Yeah, maybe leave it like that. So something like that will work. And there's always going to be like gaps and openings. That's where like plants like Anubias, like this, practical work, you can just put it planted in the gaps and openings to cover it up. Because these are the Anubiases and Bucephalandra. These are the ones that kind of grow on the rocks. So they're good like for just like filling in gaps between the rocks. And that's why I always buy them. And also moss. This is Christmas moss. Christmas moss does do really well, and you can just shove some pieces in like different like openings in the rock and have it grow. And yeah, like this moss, they call it Christmas moss is because I don't think they're fully grown yet, but when they do grow out, this thing will kind of look like Christmas trees, and you can kind of see it, but like this one right here, it's not really grown out yet, but you know, kind of fragile. But yeah, it will look like a Christmas tree when they grow out. Christmas tree shape. So you guys want to look at substrate bags? Okay. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys didn't notice, I'm live streaming this on my YouTube channel right now. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram or on YouTube, I'm Aquascaping 101. I post pretty regularly, maybe like once a week, at very least. So if you guys want to follow me or subscribe there, you guys can. Yeah, so maybe like here. It's fine. Okay, that's good. And tools like this is called like it's called a flattener. You can just like do this to like just flatten out your substrate. I mean, you can always just use your hand, but stuff like this works. And you want to create depth, right? So adding things like a mountain, that go up, or having substrate more in the back and less in the front will create that depth to make your tank look bigger than it is and look way nicer too. So let's see. Maybe we can do some here. And the reason I'm using two sizes of substrate, the reason I am using two substrates is because I'm going to use a carpet of Dwarf Hairgrass like this. This stuff will just like grow in and make like a nice, that's good, and make like a nice area in the front. And yeah, that stuff, I'm just going to do a base layer of this substrate. And afterwards, we'll put the fine substrates. The Hairgrass has, has something to hold down to. Okay, keep the fine. Substrate just kind of like bear out here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray down the substrate area. And we can always add more substrate. This is just the original batch. Alright, so now let's talk about plants. Plants will normally come in three different forms. First one is immersed, second one is submerged, and third one is tissue culture. So the first two, immersed and submerged, are basically how the plant is grown at the farm, right? Some plants will be grown out of water, like aquarium plants. You can maybe think, okay, they have to be in water the whole time. If you keep it in a moist environment, some plants can grow out of water, and we call that immersed. And and submerged is obviously in water. And plants will actually take two different forms. They will have an immersed form, and they will have a submerged form. So plants like Rotalas will have pointier, longer leaves submerged, but when they are grown immersed, they will kind of have rounder leaves. So it's you just kind of have to just kind of like know the plant. But yeah, it all depends on how it's grown. And I can go into this topic, but yeah, I just wanted to just kind of like tell you guys like that some plants will be submerged, some plants will be immersed. Most commonly, I will see plants growing immersed a lot. So yeah, that's one thing. The next, so the first two. The next two are tissue cultures. Now, the Petite has a great selection of tissue cultures, and they come in like little jars like these. Now, with tissue cultures, they are grown in labs. All right, these are all grown in labs. They're not grown on a farm. They're grown in labs. And basically, what these farms will do is they will take DNA from like an actual like one of these plants, and they will put it in like these I don't know how they do it, but like or how they really do it, but like they just put it in in the labs, and they will grow like this. So these basically all share the same DNA, which is pretty cool, and it's like becoming a little bit more popular. So yeah, it's a really cool way to grow plants. And what's good with tissue cultures is they don't come with pests, right? Since they're, what I mean by pests, I mean like pest snails. I'm pretty sure all of you who have fish tanks will and have lots of like plants or stuff. We'll occasionally see like these little snails pop out in the tank. And these, since they're grown in labs, they're not going to come with snails. They're not going to come with any pests, any diseases, right? Like some plants, will come with diseases. So it's always good to wash off your plants before you use them. But like these things, since they're grown in labs, they're not exposed to diseases. They're not exposed to pests, like snails and all that. So there's nothing really to worry about with these. But they are grown in this gel, which is a lot of tissue cultures are grown in gel, and that's really just for nutrients. So it's always good to just like wash it off like that in water. You can rinse it down the sink, yeah, just to wash it off so it's not in your tank. So yeah, you can do it in a bucket, or you can do it over a sink. You can do it like that. You split it. You want to kind of be a little gentle with the plant, because you don't want it to like, or you don't want to damage it too much. You don't want to stress the plant out too much. You want to really damage your roots and all that. But this is what the end product will really look like with the tissue culture. And yeah, you can just plant it up front. For planting plants, you can use these things. These are, use this. This is a tweezer. You can get expensive ones that are going to go for like hundreds of dollars, or you can get ones like these. So they're real simple. Just plant it in the substrate. So you don't, and it's more fun. It's more like like easier to do so, because these are smaller than your hand, and if you plant with like, you can disturb like the plants around it and the substrate. So these are always easier, but I'm just gonna use my hands for today. And yeah. So can you guys like just wash off these tissue, Hairgrass tissue cultures? So kind of having it like this. Yeah, just wash it. So we can just spread it out. Now this over time will grow and fill in as a carpet. So this will all be hairgrass like up here. So it's always good to you can do it like this, or you can just like place it, spread it out, and then over time this will all fill in, which is really nice. So like that. So just space it out a little bit, and with that like the right light, everything. You can like it'll fill in. It'll be nice. So we're just planting the carpet right now, and it's always good to have a spray bottle by you, because you always want to spray the substrate, and more importantly, you want to spray it on the plants, because you don't want your plants drying out. That's why I have them in water right now. Because you leave them out for a certain time, they're just gonna be all gone. Use this. Get the roots covered in and just fill it in like that. I plant hairgrass, I like to kind of plant it in like a strand like this. You could plant it like how I did, like right here, just like a single small piece, but I don't know, I always used it this way and it works fine. I never had a problem with planting it in these long strands. And hairgrass will grow off of runners, so you can see like a really microscopic or like a really small version. You can see that grass growing off the runner on the ground like that. So that's how hairgrass grows. Pretty neat, actually. By the rocks here. Is that the last hairgrass for you? Oh, there's one more. One more? Or no, like the one you're washing? Okay. Yeah, so this stuff will eventually go in, and we're gonna, even though this is a low-tech tank, we're gonna have like a nice bright light on here, and this stuff should grow in pretty quickly. So yeah, you can just come back and see the tank. They're gonna display it in the fish room, like right next to where the corals are. So yeah, this is where this tank will be. What's also good with UNS is like when you set it up, these tanks will come with like a mat like this, and that's kind of to help protect the tank from anything underneath, so you know it won't crack or anything. But if not, you can always order it separately, like if it rips or something, you want another one. Yeah, you can just do this with a smaller tank. You know, they have dragon stones that are not as big as this. You can really just do the same like exact layout with like a 3-gallon tank. So I'm just kind of like making a little. Alright, so that's it for the carpet plant. Like I said, this should be all filled in with the new units. Alright, so the next plant that we have is called crowweed. Now, a lot of times with stem plants, they're not really the best in low, tech tanks, but there are some that will do really well. The first one is called crowweed. Now, this stuff will grow nuts if you have the right conditions. You can grow it in tubs outside. I know you have like a lot of your tubs. It's just like nuts. So like even in the display tank in there right by the register, you can see that green nice plant is crowweed. And this stuff will grow really tall and really nice. This is a nice looking background plant for your aquascapes, especially for a low tech tank. Now with stem plants, if you don't get them in tissue culture form, in tissue culture form they're pretty short, but if you get them in like the regular, like tall looking size, I wouldn't really recommend planting like the stems like just straight into the substrate. What I recommend doing is grabbing something like these, like a scissors, or you can just even use your nails, cutting it into smaller pieces. So instead of one stem, you can probably make maybe like 4 pieces out of it and plant the 4 pieces, in the substrate, and then those will just grow out. So instead of having one, you will have 4 new plants, and especially when they get to like this high, you can always just trim more and plant the trimmings in the ground. So that's really how you can make more of these plants. But like at this size, this will work. This will just grow out. And that's, I guess, another thing too, you know, with aquascaping, it's good to be patient with your tanks. Right? It's not going to look beautiful just like in a week, you know, it's going to take some time. Sometimes, you know, depending on the tank or the plants, it may take a few months for everything to be fully established. So it's always good to wait. Like these plants may take a little bit to grow, but you know, sooner or later, your tank will be really nice. You just worth the wait. Make sure you're covering the roots and make sure, like, you know, the substrate is really just holding down the plant, because you don't want these things floating up right after you know, fill it up with water. So yeah, make sure everything's submerged, because it's actually easier to yeah, that's why I'm not planting everything with water. It's easier to plant the tank, you know, just empty. Just spray everything. Yeah, have to use all of it. So like that, you can see all the plants are there, nice. Alright, so now we're gonna plant some Alternantheria Reineckii. Now this plant, beautiful red color. Some types of Alternantheria would just be just all red, so if you don't like this green looking big pattern in it, you can just get it all red. And you know, I get a lot of questions asking like, okay, I have a low-tech tank, but the people at the store says I can't have any red plants, you know, like a lot of rotalas and other species have beautiful dark red color, but they won't show that in a low-tech tank, or they won't even grow in a low-tech tank. Alternantheria is like perfect for a low-tech tank. No matter what, you will get a red color. It's super beautiful, super nice, and in aqua soil, you know, this stuff will just grow really nuts. So let's open a few stems. Since we have so much stems, I'm just gonna plant it like regular without cutting it. But just because I was provided with a lot of plants. And sometimes people want to have the plants grow in a certain direction or like grow a certain way. My best advice for that is just to have the light pointed at where you want it to grow. Like some people would want like, you know, like this stuff to like grow like in, or like, you know, some weird way. Just have the light where you want it to grow, because plants grow where the light is. If you have a light up here, you know, they're just gonna go straight up. So yeah, plants will always just grow where the light is. But I mean, you know, having it grow straight up looks really nice too. Here's the Alternantheria. Next we're gonna start off with some of the moss that we get. So this is Christmas moss, like I said. It'll come at Petite or at Petite. It'll come in like a little container like that, a little clump. Just go make a tissue culture, just break it up. I may not even use everything, but just get like a small piece like this. These things will work really easy, and moss will just go really nice. Right here into a crevice. spread. So just like carpet plants, spread it out, and you can have it just like, actually stuff it out. That's what I like about dragon stone. You can just plant it straight in the rock and it will stay put. You do it for So I think that's good for moss. Once you use everything. Alright, so next we're going to do some Anubias. And we have Anubias Nana Petite. So Anubias Nana Petite comes in a few variations, but this type of Anubias is the smallest type. You can see the leaves won't get much bigger than, well, get a little bigger than this, but not much. Some other bigger species of Anubias, like the Anubias Petite, different ways to pronounce it. But you know, you can see the difference in leaves, right? So that will be a lot bigger plant. I just wanted to bring it out so I can just demonstrate it. But the Anubias, these roots, we'll just attach to the rock after a while. If you don't use dragonstone, if you use like a rock that doesn't have crevices, what you can do, especially for like mosses, wrap it. You know, some people use fishing line. I prefer to use moss cotton or moss. Or not moss cotton, just cotton, because cotton will dissolve in your water after a certain while. So like with fishing line, once the moss attaches, you know, you don't want to see it, you have to trim it out, and that can like, you know, make the moss come out. But with the moss cotton, you can just let it put, and over time the moss will, or the cotton will just dissolve into the water. And I like that. But with dragonstone, you don't need to, so it's one of my favorite stones to use. We can make it a nice bunch. And the Anubiases are a very slow growing plant. I'll just mention that now. So it may, you know, you may like not see too much growth, especially in the low tech tank, but you know, you will still, but eventually you will get to see, you know, you will see new leaves, and yeah, you can have a nice whole bunch of it. Right. So the next plant is the Anubias Nana Pinto. Now these, I have a few rare plants I'm going to be using today. But this is a rare plant, and it's rare because you can see it's white, right? You can see the white pattern on it. I have some of these at my house, and compare it to the Anubias, the difference. And yeah, it's basically just a lack of pigments in the leaves, and that turns it white. And it's a really nice plant, and if you can grow it out and sell some, you know, you can make a lot of money off of that. Now, this is becoming a little bit more common, but something that's a little bit more rare is this stuff. This is Bucephalandra. Bucephalandra, over the past few years, has become more popular with hobbyists like myself, and there's a lot of new species that, you know, just come out each year. And this one is a really nice one because it's like the Pinto. It has that like kind of like white mixed in pattern, variegated patterns. This is called Bucephalandra variegated. And this stuff is expensive. It'll be more than your normal gooses, but trust me, I like it and I love it, and that's why I have some. That's why I bought some. And yeah, you know, it'll look really nice in your tank. And I have a few actually, like that. So these look nice. Now for the Anubias, there's also like a different variation where the leaf is just white. There's no green at all. So you know, Anubiases and Buces, like all these, and even like carpet plants too. So there's some like a carpet plant like this, it's just all white. Like, you know, these plants are starting to come in these like white variations, and I like them. they're pretty nice. So yeah, if you get a pot like this, just squeeze it in there a little bit to loosen the hole inside. You just will pop out like that, and then just have it come out. Really nice plants already comes with established roots. You know, like plants like sometimes tissue cultures won't come with like the roots like this, and sometimes they have a harder time adapting to the tank. But you know, this looks really nice. We can always move things around, you know. That last piece. So stuff like that, then the new leaves will start to come out. Finally, yeah, just have it. So this is the Varegated goose. We're gonna put this in the tank and have it grow out, and hopefully it'll grow nice. So that's pretty much it for plants. That's yeah, so that's basically it for planting. It doesn't look full now, but you know this stuff will rise. The Anubias will cover like a lot of areas. Moss will grow. This stuff will grow. The hairgrass will grow. So this is pretty much it for planting. You know, like I said, you gotta have patience. You know, it may look empty, but after a while, you'll have a nice full looking tank. And that's what the substrate, the plant soil, will give the plants the nutrients that you need. If you want to add any additional nutrients, you can do this. This is all-in-one by Alternantheria systems. It's a really good substrate. You just do a few squirts every once in a while, and then the plants will just love it. So it's extra fertilizer for your plants, and it's really good. I love it. It's a really good fertilizer. Another thing you can do is root tabs, and you can do this before planting it. Basically, they're like kind of a little disc fertilizer. You just plant underneath the substrate, and then that will like just get your plants extra nutrients as well, help them grow. Now, if you want to do, I'm talking about a lot of low tech stuff, but if you want to, after a while, go and try the high tech or a little more advanced stuff, I would recommend adding CO2. Now, CO2 injection was like kind of founded or like thought of or invented by Takashi Amano from Japan. He's the founder of EDA. And basically, plants love CO2, and you can inject it with kits like this. This is a small kit. I use it for my smaller tanks, and the plants love it. But for bigger tanks like these, I would recommend something else, because like this, the canister is like maybe like this big. At first, big tank like this. With a bigger tank, you need to inject more CO2, of course. Like the bigger the tank, the more CO2 you gotta inject. And yeah, like this will run out really quickly. So you can always buy. They sell replacement ones, but these, that can add up. If you have a bigger tank, I would recommend buying and Triple F in Pro City ISI. That's like a restaurant, like wholesaler or something like that. But they sell like canisters like this big, or like I don't know, depending on how much you want, the size. But you can just buy one, or even like a paintball, like a paper paintball gun. That's CO2. Buy one of those, and yeah, you can just get it. Once it runs out, and for a tank like this size, or like if you get one like this size, it shouldn't run out for a while, for a long time, like a year, depending on how much you project, of course. And yeah, you can just get it refilled and bring it back, and it's all good. So that's if you want to do CO2. And Alternantheria Systems has supplies for the canisters. This is what you attach to the canister. You get this at this size. And got a little smaller one. But Alternantheria Systems sells these if you want to give it a shot. Alright, so the next thing is filtration. Now, if you want to be like one of those like really like professional aquascapers and the ones that have been doing this for a long time, you can get one of those. Get an external filter, and just have like a little pipe that just like shoots out water and sucks in water. And depending on how much depending on which ones you get, you get $100 plus the filter plus the lily. They call it lily pipes. And yeah, that thing can add up. But if you just want like a simple, aquascape, stuff like this works really well. A hang-on back filter, going for the aquascapes. You have a small one too. And if you want to, and I sometimes do this too, like you can put it right here and have the plants cover it. If you don't want to see it, you have the plants cover it like that. Or the rocks too. That's a way you can hide it. But yeah, hang-on back works. I just grabbed this one. But yeah, those smaller ones that they sell, and they work perfectly fine. Alright, so now it's time for lighting. We have here a twin star light. This is a really nice and kind of a little expensive light. For a low-tech tank, you don't really need to get something this expensive, but we're gonna use it just to demonstrate what it is. And this is really for high-tech scapes. So I'm gonna be getting one of these, and I'm just wanting to try one. Twin star lights are really good, but open it. Yeah, you always want to do measurements for this tank. So this tank's like 23, 24 inches. It's 24 inches. So yeah, you always make sure you want to have it or have the right size, right? So before you get your light or before you buy the light, make sure your tank measurements correctly. Star makes a few different types of lights, and other brands too. This is the acrylic one, so you see this is how it attaches to the tank. But Twin Star also makes the ones that are like adjustable, so you can adjust like the legs or how it attaches to the tank to the size of your tank. But this is a little more nicer if you want to acrylic design. So Twin Star logo, beautiful light. Light right here, and then should fit perfectly. Like that. And we don't have power, but this is what the light will look like on the tank. And yeah, really nice light. Really bright too. It's just really for high-tech tanks. But if you want to do for your low-tech tank, by all means go ahead, and your class will thank you for it. Let's go one more time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tank. If you wanna see it again when it's like fully like filled up with water and the lights on and everything, come back. Like I said, it'll be displayed in the back. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the presentation. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and you can ask them right now.
We go in low tech, so can this still use this kind of light?
Use this light in a low tech tank. Yeah, but like I was just
Is it too
saying.
strong? Is the light too strong?
No, the light won't be too strong. But, you know, when it's put in water, it won't be too strong. Like this light is made for plants. So even for like low tech plants like this, it won't be too strong. The reason I was like just saying like you know it's really meant for like high tech tanks is because of the price and how bright and like you know it's bright and the plants will you know still be fine with it, but you don't need a light this bright for these plants. You can get like a little cheaper light and it's not as bright and the plants will still be fine. So that's what I was just saying. But for plants that are like low tolerance and when you add CO2 and all that, you want the plants to be really full and nice. It's like to go for it. Any other questions?
You didn't put substrate in the back. Why?
No, I did not put substrate in the back. Well, because there's not going to be any plants growing in the back. You know, I just put substrate where you know I will have the plants growing. You could if you wanted. And that's the other thing about you know having the hardscape in there first. If I put the substrate in first, there would be substrate in the back, and that's kind of and you know since there's no plants growing, it's a waste of substrate, right? So it's like yeah, I put the hardscape first, and then after then that's where you put the substrate where you want to have the substrate, so you don't waste any. And yeah, you can use it to full advantage. And you can layer it on the rocks. But in this instance, I didn't. Any questions?
That fertilizer you use, is that shrimp friendly also?
Yes, this is shrimp friendly. It hadn't killed my shrimp, but you know, of course, shrimp can be like picky and finicky they can be. So if you want to be safe, don't put as much as it would recommend. You know, put like a little less. But for me, no damage. Yeah, I like this. Anything else? Anyone else?
Would you recommend a crate underneath your substrate to protect the glass?
I would. I don't think they had any right now. That's why I never used. But like yeah, that's a great point. Rocks can be heavy, right? And this is a glass tank. Now, depending on how these rocks aren't the heaviest, like I could have used heavier rocks than they had, and that thing would probably crack the glass underneath it. I would recommend buying one of those little weight crates, cutting it and placing it right where you will have like the rocks, and that will protect the glass underneath. So you don't have any leaks or cracks in the tank. Because UNS tanks, you want to keep these as intact as possible. Yeah. So 8 crates are just something sturdy you can use. Really good. Just the rocks are kind of sharp underneath, right? So if you want to sand it out, like you want to just, I don't know, like you want to do that too. But I think the 8 crates is like the easiest way.
Okay, so if you have a full carpet, let's say your planet tank is established and your carpet is growing, then you have smaller foreground plants in between that carpet. Will it choke those plant drops?
Oh, like so
like the roots from the carpet. You know what I mean? You have like this plant and you have your carpet growing around this plant.
No, that won't at all. For me, like I have carpets of a little harder plants for carpets. I have like this like expensive like nice looking pink crypt.
Yeah,
It's really nice. And, yeah, you can just put it right in between it, and it works perfectly fine. Yeah, just make sure you have enough substrate, right? You don't want to make the substrate too shallow because you want the roots to be able to like establish underneath. But no, it should be fine. It won't attack. Yeah.
Cool.
How would you maintenance the tank afterwards once it's established?
Sorry.
How do you maintenance the tank once it's established?
So afterwards, you just fill it with water. Get an algae problem. Just do water changes. Even like if you have like sand, like a normal tank with just fish, you can't really obviously you can't really do siphons because that's gonna screw up your whole plants. But it's not really hard to maintain. That's what people will say. If your plants grow crazy, just trim them. And then, like I said, if you still see gap areas in between the plants, just plant the trimmings there. But really, maintenance, it's easier than I thought it would be, I guess, I should say. So,
Like the side of the glass with the algae builds up?
yeah, you can just get like, what I like is, those Mr. Cleans. Those, just get one of those and just wipe it. And it'll come off.
Mr. Keep It Eraser?
Yeah, Magic Eraser.
Yeah. You didn't know that.
Magic Eraser. Some ones you gotta just look. I think some ones may have like the chemical that may be bad, but I know there's some that will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, just gotta look.
gotta make sure you just read the box. Make sure there's nothing poisonous on there for the fish. And yeah, and I guess just to say for afterwards, setting up the tank, some substrates will release a gas, a toxic gas called ammonia into your tank. That can be very harmful to your fish. You know, some substrates, like even the hardiest fish, like guppies are not sensitive at all to pretty much anything. There are a lot of things, but the ammonia will kill the guppies. So you kind of show you how these substrates will be kind of bad for your fish. Or like at first, if you keep cycling it and doing water changes for like a month or a few months, it'll should be all gone. But what's good about alternation system substrate is no ammonia release at all. So after it's done cycling, just throw in the fish. You don't have to worry about ammonia. But of course, you know, check your water, make sure it's all good, no toxic anything in the water. So, but yeah, it's good about that. That's why I really like this substrate.
How long will the substrate keep its nutrients as far as before you have to put root tabs in?
So this substrate, I started recently using it, so I haven't gotten to the point yet.
Yeah.
But so far it's been a year and it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, like that's the thing too. A lot of substrates, yeah, they will eventually lose all their nutrients and like you know, like you said, you have to put root tabs in there or other nutrients, or you know, just take down the tank and add new substrate. So you can do that. But it just really wants you to kind of like maybe like your plants start to look kind of bad and you know not looking as they used to be. That may be a sign that your substrate's being able. But normally like years and years. You know, yeah. Alright, so thank you for watching. And coming down today, I really appreciate it. Like I said, you guys can follow me on YouTube, Aquascaping 101. And on Instagram as well, same thing, Aquascaping 101. And now, like I said, there will be some giveaways, so just stay put, and then I'll get the owners out here to conduct the giveaway. So thanks for watching.